Yo, what is going on, everybody? Welcome to a different sort of a video for us. This is not going to be a gaming video, but it's going to be a NFL free agency sort of roundtable talk. Yeah, we're gonna go with that. Roundtable talk. I'm with Octavio.
What's up?
And Nick Bennett, NB2K himself.
Yes, sir.
All right, so let's jump straight into this, guys. Like, we have a lot to cover here. The NFL has been insane the last 2 days, and I don't even know where I want to start. But let's start with what happened yesterday before free agency. Let's talk about the Baltimore Ravens.
Big moves.
Probably, yeah, they made a lot of big moves. Acquired Marcus Peters for a 5th-round pick at the deadline this year?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah. And they were, you know, if they had showed up against Tennessee, they give Mahomes and the Chiefs a run for their money. I don't know how that game turns out. I don't think that any of us know how that game turns out. But we all know that Lamar Jackson would have given Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs a run for their money if they showed up. But the Ravens got a lot better. Yesterday, they acquired Calais Campbell from the Jacksonville Jaguars for a 2020 5th-round pick. Calais Campbell, who is 33, so he is on the wrong side of 30, getting up there in age. He does have I believe he has 1 more year left on his contract. Do you guys know for sure?
I can check it. I did not check it.
I want to say it's 1 more year, maybe 2, but even that, even if it's only 1 year, even if it's only 2
Earl Thomas, you said?
In 2017, he signed a 4-year deal, so he has.
Okay, so he does have 1 more year. One more year on the
but
deal.
Him and the Ravens finalized a 2-year deal.
Oh, okay.
2-year, 27 mil.
The Ravens have him locked up for 3 more years. He'll be 36 when his deal's done. That's a perfect move for the Ravens. You get a D lineman who is very good for his age, worth about every penny you give him. Not only is he going to be mentoring your young guys if you decide to draft one or if you decide to draft one wherever you may draft one. Not only is he going to be able to mentor a younger guy coming in. Let's say you sign somebody in free agency.
They signed Michael Brockers.
There. Exactly. They signed Michael Brockers today. What was that, a 3-year
30?
I believe?
Yeah, 3 or 30.
3 years, $30 million. We don't know if that was fully guaranteed yet, or what it is.
I can check to see if there's.
I haven't seen anything yet, but moving on, Anthony Costanzo re-signed a 2-year, $33 million extension with the Colts. Now, there were reports that he was going to retire. I mean, an offensive tackle, this is probably going to be his last payday. He's probably going to retire after these 2 years. So, but I think Anthony Costanzo has been a good tackle for the Indianapolis Colts. Not as big name as Calais Campbell, but
he's a big part of that O line.
Yeah. And
that O line is one of the best in the NFL, and he's a big part of it. So.
Well, that O line, they couldn't keep Andrew Luck upright, and basically forced him to retire, though.
I mean, it took him a little bit, but yeah.
Yeah, that is true.
Because they got Quentin Nelson when Andrew Luck was already hurt, sitting out.
What do you think, Bennett? What do you think about those two moves?
For the Campbell and
the Campbell move and the Costanzo.
Campbell and the Costanzo move. Yeah, either one of them, whichever one you want to talk about.
I mean, the Campbell move is interesting because Campbell has been on the move for the past 5 years, it seems.
Right.
He went from Arizona to Jacksonville.
He spent like what, 8 years? Is that what I'm seeing? Eight years in Arizona.
8 years in Arizona.
And then 3 in Jacksonville, and now he's going to Baltimore for at least 2.
Okay. We're gonna move on. No, to the quarterback.
I just need to say one more thing about Calais Campbell, and he shows production. He's been a starter for the past 10 years.
Not regressed. Yeah,
he's missed 1, 2, 3, 4. He missed 4 games starting. Only 4 games in the past 10 years that he did not start in. That he played in.
and you got him for a 5th round pick.
And in the past 3 years for Jacksonville, he's accumulated about 31 sacks in the past 3 years for Jacksonville.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Well, and it's not only that, but you got to look at it.
Yeah,
some teams might be doubling him or shading his side, whatever you want to call it.
30.5 and 6 forced fumbles.
Exactly. Some teams might be shading his side, to try to prevent him from getting to the quarterback.
Yeah.
But the deal
it's
we
a
need
big
to get
dude.
into,
6'8", 300 pounds. That's a big dude.
Exactly. But the deal we need to get into, the deal we need to talk about, Ryan Tannehill, a backup quarterback to start the year, 4 years, $118 million, 62 guaranteed. What do you guys think about that? Tannehill is 31, by the way. Let's talk about. Let's remember that.
So he started 10 games, threw for 2,700 yards, 22 TDs, 6 picks.
Yep, with a 73 completion percentage.
Yeah, 73.
70.3. 70.3. Sorry.
9.6 yards per attempt. Those are some decent stats, but I don't think they're worth the $30 million a year that they're paying him.
Right. And the 62 that's completely guaranteed for him. That's not even including his incentives, and his incentives are probably like, throw for
Tennessee.
X amount of yards a year, this amount
besides,
of touchdowns.
I mean, the passer rating through 10 games started was amazing for Tannehill at 117.5.
That puts him as the 9th highest paid quarterback in the NFL. I personally don't think Tannehill is the 9th best quarterback in the NFL.
No, I agree.
But that's where this
the 9th highest paid. But you gotta look at the market.
This year's a bunch of old QBs.
It's the same thing with offensive linemen in this market right now.
Also,
it's just
even though it was
insane.
through 10 games started, he led the league with that passer rating in 2019.
Nice. Okay.
Like QBs this year, this offseason is a little bit weird one for QBs. You got old guys, you got backup level quarterbacks, you got Jameis Winston throwing 30 interceptions. It's
right. You have every
a weird one.
You have a guy
That
from every
70.3 completion percentage was his career high in Tannehill, and also a career high with 9.6 yards averaged per pass. And 4 rushing touchdowns as a career high also.
117 QB rating is actually huge. That's a good rating.
The record for a season is 122.5, held by Aaron Rodgers. Don't know why I know that.
That's an entire season.
That's an entire season. He started 10 games.
That's still even though that was an entire season, that's still pretty impressive because Tannehill did it over 10 games. That means Rodgers had to do it over 16. As much as I hate Aaron Rodgers, that's still
it's impressive. That's what I'm saying. It's impressive for Aaron
2011.
Rodgers, but not crazy impressive for Tannehill because he played less games.
Right. So let's move on to the next one here.
I have an idea for another quarterback who just signed with the Las Vegas Raiders.
Oh, Mariota.
Marcus Mariota, another former Tennessee Titan, drafted second overall.
What was it?
He was the #1 overall pick, correct?
Second overall between Jameis Winston.
Number 1 was Jameis.
Yeah, I'm seeing it now. That was so weird. I
didn't expect it.
I'm surprised that Marcus Mariota is on the move.
I mean, I'm not surprised he's on the move. I'm surprised to who he went to.
Yeah, I can agree with that. I
thought they'd stick.
He's been on, ever since 2016, he's been on the downfall, because in 2016 he had 3,400 yards passing, then 3,200, 2,500, 1,200.
Wasn't 2016 that year he had that like 90 some odd yard QB run against the
Yes,
Jags?
92 yard touchdown rush, but against Jacksonville.
That was like the year everybody's like, oh my
Jacksonville
God, Marcus
had
is going to be the next best.
Wasn't that the year, or was it 2017 that Jacksonville was considered Saxonville?
It was 2017.
No, it was 20. Yeah, it was 2017.
It was 17. Yeah, it was the first year for Leonard Fournette, who, by the way, has been getting injured recently, but that's not what we're talking about today.
So, going back to yesterday, that was a good idea, bringing in Mariota, just his thing. Just a quick overview: Bradley Roby, 3 years, 36, going back to the Texans. He's 27 years old. He did sign a 1-year, $10 million deal with the Texans last year. What do you guys think about that? I think Roby is a good. He's either a good number one corner or he's a good, really good second corner. So
is he the number one in Houston?
Well, he will be now. He will be now because Jonathan Joseph retired. Unless they were playing him at 1. I don't know.
Let me just check the Houston Texans
Bradley
roster.
Roby played 5 years with Denver's, drafted in 2014.
Mm-hmm.
Corner.
He's accumulated 4 sacks through his career. He has never started. Back in 2018 for Denver, that was the first year he's played all games that he has started.
So he started all 16 games?
He started 15. He played 15 and started 15.
Oh, so Houston right now still has Jonathan Joseph in their roster.
I think Jonathan Joseph did retire though. That was earlier this week, and it just has. I don't think he officially announced it, but I think he was basically hinting at it.
Let me see. Let me look at his Twitter. He probably said something.
But either
March
way,
11th.
Let's just move on to the next guy, Bradley Roby. I think that's a good signing for the Texans. Obviously, you're going to have to assess, your other corners or other positions.
Through
and obviously that other position will be on offense, which we will get into
let me say one thing. If I read this properly, I think that Jonathan Joseph isn't retiring, but he's moving on to a different team.
Oh, okay.
So Bradley Roby played.
He spent his entire career there, I believe.
He posted a thing in March 11th, so 5 days ago. He posted a letter on Twitter, and it ends with, "I look forward to continuing playing with the same passion and dedication to the game I love." But it was like a goodbye to the Texans fans.
Okay.
So I think he's probably just gonna go to a different team.
I believe he's played all of his entire career in Houston. But,
Can you check that out, Bennett?
Wait, who?
Jonathan Joseph.
I believe, but I'm not entirely sure. He's been in the league for a long time.
14 years, it says.
Mostly correct.
Yeah.
Hold up, my computer's fucking.
Let me see. I think I can see it here.
Joseph. I got it. Oh,
Jeez.
I got really type in Jonathan.
Career. Let me see.
I got it.
Well, I'm on the Texans page with his thing, so. Oh no, he played with the Bengals from 2006 to 2010. He played with the Bengals, but ever since.
Okay, yeah. So he played out his rookie contract with them.
He's currently 35 years old.
Ever since then, it's been with Houston. Yes.
All right,
he's currently 35 years old.
Moving on to another DB, though. Moving on to another DB. Devin McCourty. He's 32 years old, has a couple Super Bowl rings. He gets a 2-year, $23 million extension. He gets to stay playing with the system he knows. Gets to stay in the same home. Gets to stay playing with his bro. What do you guys think about that?
We were talking about Devin McCourty.
Devin McCourty, yes.
I think it's a good deal.
I think it's a great deal for them.
He clearly fits in great with
he loves it. He loves it in New England.
New England. He's playing with his brother. They all like it there.
It was upsetting for me because as a Lions fan, there were rumors that he was, being he was looking at either coming back to reunite with Matt Patricia, and that scheme that they have here in Detroit. But good for Devin McCourty. He probably gets his last payday.
He's 33. He's 33, so it probably is.
He's coming up on the end of his career, but still a great career. Possibly even a Hall of Fame career. We could be talking about Devin McCourty getting a gold jacket here in a few years.
I don't know if I go that far.
Over his 9-year career, this coming year will be his 10th. He has accumulated 772 total tackles, 3 sacks, 11 forced fumbles, 6 fumble recoveries, 26 interceptions, 2 touchdowns, and 87 pass deflections.
This guy is a good free safety. He is a very good ball hawk free safety.
He had 5 interceptions back in 2019, this past year.
He's had 5 interceptions plus 3 times in his career.
He has not started.
When it wasn't 5 plus, it was 1 or 2. 26 interceptions in a career.
Let me note this: that
good.
his rookie year, he had 7 interceptions. 7.
Dude,
And 2 forced fumbles.
And
yeah, I don't disagree. He is definitely a beast.
That was his
I'm not
career
100% sure Hall of Fame worthy, but he's definitely like,
he's never gone a season without an interception.
True. That is a good way to. That's a good point.
He went 7, 2, 5, 1, 2, 1, 1, 1, 1, 5.
Every game he's played, he started at 2.
We need to talk about
yes,
this.
that is
talk
also
about his interceptions kind of be. I don't want to say being down, but if you look at it as in a whole, I feel like interceptions are down in the NFL.
Yeah, in general,
I just feel like I feel like it's.
Unless you're playing James
more balanced. I want to say it's more balanced, but like I just feel like quarterbacks aren't throwing as many interceptions now. You know, you're either, you know, it's the RPOs, you know, or the bubble screen or the wide receiver screen, just getting the ball into your playmaker's hands and forcing your quarterback to not have to make a tight or difficult throw.
I'm searching up the stats from quarterbacks this past year.
Okay. Well, moving on, we're gonna talk about the guys who have received franchise tags. So now we are into today, and then after that, actually, we'll cover this real quick. 2 Falcons players who got released earlier today: Desmond Trufant and Devontae Freeman. Both of those guys,
pretty big name veterans.
Yeah, 2 pretty big name veterans. 2 guys who I don't think anybody was really surprised about. Trufant was kind of a shocker to me because I didn't hear his name thrown around. But
yeah, Devontae Freeman was almost guaranteed that was going to happen. But yeah,
Devontae Freeman was basically guaranteed. But
how about instead of going into franchise tags, how about let's talk about another corner who was recently signed to a deal with Miami.
Well, that would be
Byron Jones.
I mean, we're
going into like a chronological order, kind of.
Yeah.
That's why we're going to franchise tags. That's today.
Yeah. I just wanted to cover these 2 guys who got released real quick because it's just something that I don't think is as important. I mean, 2 guys who might get a payday.
Who do you guys think they might go to? Who do you think might be looking for them?
Who'd you guys say?
Devontae Freeman and Desmond Trufant.
I don't know. Trufant could fit a lot of teams. Like, there's a lot of teams who need.
A lot of teams are looking for that one good corner.
I mean, I'm not.
I already know one Falcon. One Falcon already went to the Browns. I mean, Browns are looking for another corner to help out.
Why would they be looking for another corner?
Actually, never mind.
Denzel Ward and Greedy Williams.
Denzel Ward.
That's true. Never mind.
I mean, they could. I mean, I don't know their scheme out there, but they could be running 3 corners or something like that.
It's a possibility.
Or Vikings, maybe. Vikings, because Trey Waynes hasn't done anything yet.
Well, and they also released Xavier Rhodes, so they need the corner, yeah. I could see that.
What's the 49ers
point about interceptions
looking like?
Go back to your point about interceptions.
Yeah, go for it.
This year had way more interceptions, actually.
Really?
Way more. Okay, so the top 3...
Is this kind of like an anomaly year, or
I don't know if it's an anomaly year? I don't know if it's an... I'll check the couple years earlier, too, just to make sure.
Yeah. I don't know, because I don't know. I don't know. I feel like interceptions are down, but I also feel like they're kind of.
No, I think it might actually be an anomaly year this year of extra interceptions, because if you look at it in 2018, the highest interceptions was 16, with having 3 people at 15 right below it and 3 more at 14 right below that.
You're saying quarterbacks?
Yeah, and then 2017 there was 22 from Deshaun Kaiser, but he went 0-16, so it doesn't really count. And then you had Cam Newton at 16 and 15, another guy at 15, and then 3 guys at 14. But then this year you look at it, you got 30, then 21, then 20, then 2 guys at 16.
Yeah, you
14.
Out of those 4 or 5 guys, whatever you said, you're already over 100 interceptions.
Exactly. Like this year this year was an odd year for interceptions.
Like last year, it was 16, 15, 15, 15, 14, 14, 14.
Yeah. And the year before that was 22, 16, 15, 14, 14, 14. This year is just 30, 20, 20. This year had a lot more.
Right. So then going to Devontae Freeman, Because I mean, Trufant, I guess he could go maybe Eagles or Cowboys because they did lose Byron Jones, like Bennett was saying earlier. We will get into his deal, but we are trying, like we said earlier, chronological order, just going like that. Devontae Freeman, I'm not really sure where he could go. I mean, I know the Lions were rumored to have interest in him, but I don't know.
I was thinking maybe Arizona could be a good one.
Well, Arizona already has Kenyon Drake.
Tagged, Kenyon Drake, yeah.
Kenyon Drake was good for them last year.
That's transition tag, and that's only one running back.
That's true. I don't know.
Like last year they had Kenyon Drake with like a little bit of David Johnson.
Yeah, yeah.
So like having Kenyon Drake and like a Devontae Freeman, that's like with Devontae Freeman you also got a veteran. So you have two veterans in Larry Fitzgerald and Devontae Freeman with a rookie QB, with a second-year QB in Kyler Murray, and like a bunch of rookie receivers, and they're supposed to get a receiver probably, either that or an O-lineman this year in the draft.
Well, they did pick up a pretty nice receiver here, which we will talk about here coming up. I'm trying to get to him, but so let's get into the franchise tags. If you guys are cool with that.
Yeah, let's talk about franchise tags.
Let's talk about the first
Anthony
franchise.
Harris. Well, I was gonna go just guys who I thought were kind of interesting. Anthony Harris. I mean, I'm not surprised that he got the tag, but this guy just came out of nowhere last year.
He came out of nowhere, leading the league in interceptions.
Exactly, but that's the exact point I was trying to get at. I never heard of this guy. No disrespect to him, none at all.
Obviously, and he's 28. He's 28 too.
You have to be an athlete to be in the NFL, but I don't know. I've never heard of this guy, and this guy just balled out this year. So I mean, good for him. Good
Jacob,
for him.
I have to say one thing. I have to say one thing.
Get the bag,
you said you have to be an athlete to be in the NFL. What about Tom Brady? Just saying.
Well,
those are like some anomalies.
At the position
I know, I'm joking.
You need to be an athlete.
Of course. He's a safety.
Safety is one of the most difficult positions in the NFL.
Because you're on an island.
For sure, you got to be able to read an entire offense and defense.
You are the quarterback of the defense.
I think the quarterback would be more so like a linebacker, but yeah.
Some people say middle linebackers, but I think
it depends on the team. It really depends on the team, actually.
That's true. Well,
the player and the team.
If you look at it, you know, teams who draft a middle linebacker, you know, and throw him right into the starting position, they're not asking him, you know, oh, hey, be the quarterback of the defense, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, exactly. The Buccaneers, they drafted Devin White, but that's because they already had the leader of the defense in Levante David.
Exactly, right.
So they just ball out with Devin White.
So,
but then you look at certain picks like Luke Kuechly, who retired earlier this year. He was a quarterback of a defense.
Probably he could have quarterbacked an entire offense and defense.
He was probably the smartest player. He's possibly the smartest player to ever play football.
I could agree. I could get behind that.
Does.
I could get behind that.
You can see both ways.
I think he could be given the title of smartest player of all time.
And then we're also talking about the Bucs, since I already mentioned the Bucs, like in talking about comparing safeties and middle linebackers. The Bucs Super Bowl winning team, John Lynch, he was a safety, and he was kind of the quarterback of that team. So it could definitely go to safety or linebacker for being a quarterback of a team.
Also, if we're going to interesting franchise tags, I thought this guy would be a free agent, not get franchise tag, AJ Green.
Oh yeah, I was looking at that one right now.
Yeah, I agree.
He wanted out. He said he wanted out.
He wanted out, but obviously, as we all know, the Bengals have the first overall pickup coming in this upcoming draft. Joe Burrow apparently said that, you know, he knows the Bengals are going to draft him. I heard a report.
Is he trying to do with the Eli
to franchise tag him?
Yeah, I heard that same thing, that he like kind of wanted AJ Green to be on the team.
Green to stay.
So I actually think it's doing it. I think it's a smart move to franchise tag, because either you have him and you have Joe Burrow who wants to play with him, and that's like a good thing, or they just tag him and trade him away, so they don't just give him away for free. You get something back.
Not only that, but even if he does, you know, he is injury prone. He's injured almost every year.
For sure, yeah.
Was he hurt or something in 2019?
Yes, he was hurt.
Oh yeah, he didn't play a single game this year. He was cleared to play for one game, but he didn't play, and he got hurt again in practice or something like that.
Yeah. So I mean, even if this guy does get injured again this year, you can just let him walk again, or you can just let him walk next year.
I mean, the Bengals don't really have anybody else they'd franchise tag.
They also, really, exactly. They don't have
much to work with.
Wait,
have much to work
do the
with.
Bengals
They
still have
Darqueze
Giovanni
Bernard
Bernard?
and Andrew Billings. Giovanni Bernard, I think they do. Let me check.
I think Bernard's already on a contract. I think he got a 2-year extension like 2 years
I don't think he's a free agent.
I don't think he's a free agent.
Oh yeah, he signed a 2-year extension in September.
Okay.
So yeah, he's on a contract for 1 more year.
Another guy who I was kind of intrigued that didn't get a payday. Derrick Henry. This guy carried the Titans single-handedly. And what did they do? They paid their quarterback.
Okay, and the quarterback the Titans released a bunch of players this past week, a bunch of them to clear up cap space. But instead, they spent
Delaney Walker, staple.
Delaney Walker, Dion Lewis,
Cameron Wake, Dion Lewis, exactly right.
And then what they did, they spent that money on Ryan Tannehill, and they let Jack Conklin, who's a steal, like a big part of that O line, they let him go.
And he's young.
He's 25. They let him go, and they tagged Derrick Henry.
Yep, agreed.
They released everybody to sign Ryan Tannehill.
To be fair, the Cameron Wake. Move was not surprised. He's 38.
I'm not surprised about the releases. They released the old guys that were taking up cap space and weren't doing much.
I mean, Delaney Walker was a staple of their franchise.
I don't want to say he's getting old.
I don't want to say I didn't see it coming, but I don't want to say it was a shock. But
I wasn't surprised when I saw it.
It's going to be weird seeing Delaney Walker in anything but a Titans uniform because that's just all I've seen. Like from what I can remember, Delaney Walker plays for the Tennessee Titans.
He's only played for the Titans.
I don't know what your guys' opinion would be on Cameron Wake. Is that a Hall of Famer?
I don't know.
Yes.
With 100.5 sacks.
Yeah, I think so.
I don't want to get into all of his stats because he's not. He's not going to be a big name free agent here.
Oh my God, he ran a 4.65. He ran a 4.65.
No, he was very athletic.
He was.
Just got old.
Like I was gonna say, I don't know if I already mentioned this because we've been talking about this for a little while now. But I want to do another one of these again, an episode 2, a part 2, on Friday after all like the big name things have happened and whatnot. And then we'll just overview like what every team did and how we feel about said team.
Yeah, we can do like a big free agency recap.
We could even do a prediction. I mean, obviously the Lions are going 16-0 and then running the table in the playoffs and winning it all for the first time. Said nobody ever. But
he's a bad man.
Moving on.
All right, next franchise tag that surprised me: Dak Prescott.
No, I'm not surprised about that one.
Not surprised.
I kind of am. I thought they'd either pay him or he'd ask or he'd like leave.
I think Jerry Jones is an idiot for even tagging him.
I don't know.
But I knew it was going to happen.
Not that bad
I knew
for
it was
him.
going to happen.
He's not a great quarterback, but he's not bad.
He's not even good. Dude,
he was good in 2016.
Dak Prescott does. You could pay me to do what Dak Prescott does. Not even that much money. Run halfback stretch to the left. Run halfback stretch to the right. Run halfback dive to the left. Run halfback dive to the right.
Let me see how much.
Throw a ball for 3 yards to Amari Cooper. Like, I'm not saying Dak Prescott is a bad quarterback. I'm just saying what he does is just so, like, for how much he's getting paid, it's just dumb.
A franchise tag is 25 mil for a quarterback.
No, I believe it's 23 mil. Nope, his franchise tag is $31.6 million in total.
Another player that got franchise tagged, I thought he would get paid.
I saw 26.8 for this season.
I'm seeing 31. I'm not sure, but it's probably somewhere in between there.
It's like it's in the high 20s or barely 30.
The franchise tag is the middle ground of all. So what they do is they take the contract.
So there's no way it's 30. There's no way it's 30.
Well, I don't know. I'm reading.
Because 30 would put him as the 6th highest. There's 30 would put him at the 6th highest paid quarterback, and nobody's paying that much for a franchise tag.
I'm telling you what I know. The franchise tag is they take the contract of every player at that position. So in this case, quarterback, and what they make a year, and then they average that out.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. There's no way it's 30. Not a good average of every player at the position. When you got backups making $100,000, like JT Barrett, he makes $100,000.
Okay.
Another free agent that
might be right.
Another not free agent, franchise tag that I thought this player would get paid a decent amount in Justin Simmons.
Oh, good one. That was a good one. That was a few days ago. I like that one. I like Justin Simmons. Was he the one who blocked that kick against the Saints? Or was he the one who returned it? You guys know what play I'm talking about?
He has...
The Saints were kicking a PAT, and somebody blocked it. And then it was either
I think Simmons blocked it.
I think he blocked it.
He blocked it. It's showing no touchdowns.
Extra point to win the game. He blocked it. Yeah.
Okay. I like that was.
He's a good safety. He's a good safety.
He has.
I'm actually.
In his
I think
4
it's actually
years,
smart to franchise tag him.
Yeah.
Who else do the Broncos have? They have like Chris Harris.
They're gonna get a new deal done with him. I didn't think.
Yeah, I think they're tagging him to re-sign him later, but like making sure they have him.
Same thing with the Patriots and Joe Tooney, who's.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I heard that a deal's already in the works between them.
Yeah. I think they just didn't They were like, okay, so well, we're not gonna figure it out today, but we're just gonna give you the tag, and then we'll come back tomorrow.
Big news. Stephon Diggs and the 7th round to the Bills for a 1st, a 5th, a 6th, and a next year's 4th.
That's
whoa.
That's a lot.
Breaking news here on the channel.
Wait, Bills first? What's the Bills first? That's like what?
Stephon Diggs is going to the Buffalo Bills.
That's a lot.
Trey Turner just tweeted at Darius Slay, big play Slay, where we heading?
Yeah, 1st round, 5th round, 6th round, and 2021 4th round pick. That's shocking.
Oh my god. The Bills, considering what happened between Hopkins earlier today, the Bills overpaid so much on Stephon Diggs.
What did they give up? I'm still not seeing this deal.
Adam Schefter 5 minutes ago.
I'm on Ian Rappaport. He retweeted it.
Bills are trading a 1st round pick, a 5th round pick, and a 6th round pick, and a 2021 4th round pick for Vikings wide receiver Stephon Diggs and a 2020 7th round pick. That's a lot for a...
And then you compare what Bill O'Brien gave up DeAndre Hopkins for. A bag of chips.
Well, we'll get into that one. So let's hurry up.
Yeah, let's go into that one already. Just get it over with.
Who else? Leonard Williams franchise tag. Leonard Williams franchise tag. Not surprised there. They already.
Shaq Barrett and Zach Leader.
Wait a minute.
Exactly.
Did Diggs not play this year?
Did who?
Did Stephon Diggs not play this past year?
Yeah, he did.
It's weird because on NF it's saying right here stats only 2015 to 2018. It's not showing his 2019 stats.
I'm looking at his stats right now. He had 1,000 yards, 6 touchdowns, 63 receptions.
Well, I want to talk about his quarterback. Well, his former quarterback, I should say. Captain Choke. Captain I can't play in prime time.
Oh my god. Okay, I need to pull up his stats.
2 years, $66 million. Fully guaranteed, guys. What in the hell are the Vikings doing?
Yeah, that puts him at that makes him the 5th highest paid quarterback in NFL history. What?
Unreal. Austin Hooper, he got paid today, which good for him.
He deserved it. He was a beast.
He was balling out.
He's one of the best tight ends in the game since Gronkowski left.
Agreed.
Probably. I put him in top 5.
But here's the thing people don't understand. As soon as a good tier player hits the open market, so Austin Hooper, he's going to become the highest paid player at his respective position.
Oh yeah, just how the market works nowadays.
That's just how the market is.
Like last year, Quan Alexander, an average linebacker in the NFL was a Pro Bowler once. And he tore his ACL. It wasn't really injury. He got injury problems now, but he didn't have it before. But he's a Pro Bowler. Then the next year he tears his ACL. Coming off that ACL, he becomes the highest paid middle linebacker in NFL history until Bobby Wagner re-signed a deal.
Exactly what happens every year. That's why, like earlier, I was talking to a friend. He said, I can't believe they paid that much for Austin Hooper, blah, 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 blah. Kelsey's better, Kittle's better, blah, blah, blah's better.
That's because they didn't sign a deal now.
You gotta remember, Travis Kelce signed a deal like what, 2 years ago or last offseason or something like that.
Yeah, I think it was 2. I think it was 2.
As soon as that deal comes up, as soon as that deal goes up, as long as Kelce's still performing the way he is right now, or around what he is, as long as he doesn't take a complete dive off a cliff, he's going to be the highest paid tight end.
For sure.
Same thing with George Kittle.
Yeah, I mean, okay, so going with the same example, James Bradbury, he's a good corner. Nothing insanely good.
Number 2.
I think he's a solid 1. He locked down pretty well in the NFC South, decently. Nothing crazy, but decently.
3 years, 45, 32 guaranteed.
That's 15 a year for a decent number 1. That puts him almost high. Like, where almost highest? Where does that put him? Corners. 15 a year. That's literally the second highest paid until, well, not third because of Byron Jones' deal. That makes him the third highest paid corner in the league.
Well, then let's just keep moving right along then. Eric Flowers. Remember when he was with the Giants and everybody was like, "Oh my God, this guy's blind. He doesn't even know how to play offensive line." 3 years, $30 million. He just got today. 19.5 guaranteed. This guy had
these average tackles are making $10 million a year.
Good year in Washington though, so this is like Miami has a lot of money to throw around, so I'm not surprised that they made this deal.
Are they the highest cap space? Let me check Miami's cap space.
I believe they were. Well, not anymore because they just.
Boys, I understand you guys talking
so
like
they had
before,
200 million. Wait, no, that's total. Never mind.
Before about Kirk Cousins, like I'm looking at his stats and it's not bad.
I'm not saying he's bad.
He didn't break 4,000. He started 15 games on a decent team with Adam Thielen and Stephon Diggs as wide receivers. And he didn't even reach 4,000 yards.
He hasn't led that team anywhere. Look at what he has. I promise you, I'm not overhyping Matthew Stafford. Before this year, he had 5 straight seasons of 4,000 plus yards. Back in 2016, almost passed for 5,000 yards. He had I'm not saying Kirk Cousins is bad. I'm saying he's getting 26 and 6 for the things that he's done for that team.
Yeah, he's getting he's not a bad quarterback. He's just overpaid.
His stats are fine, but he's being paid for.
He's not a 5th best quarterback in the NFL.
He's being paid like a guy who should be leading them to multiple divisional titles and a deep run in the playoffs, which I know they had this year. But you also got to look at it. Like, they have Kyle Rudolph. They have a decent offensive line. They have a beast of a running back in Dalvin Cook.
Last year they were saying they had the best wide receiver duo in the NFL last year.
They had Stephon Diggs. They have Adam Thielen. They have Irv Smith now. All guys were very good. And I haven't even made it to the defensive side of the ball. I haven't even.
That defense is really good.
That defense is
Anthony Barr, Eric Kendricks, Anthony Harris. Trey Waynes is pretty decent.
When he was there.
He's a free agent right now, but I don't think he's signed. Has he signed with somebody?
They released him, but yeah.
Oh, they released him. That's why he's a free agent.
He has not signed.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I've never seen him in the news.
Moving on into probably the biggest headliner of the day now, DeAndre Hopkins.
Let's get it over with. We've been beating around the bush.
Yeah, we've been beating around the bush. Sorry for the delay. I wanted to go in chronological order, but we're jumping around. I'm not worried about it. We got to get to the big hitter, the grand slam, the big boy move of the day.
What in the hell was Bill O'Brien doing?
DeAndre Hopkins and a 4th-round pick are going to the Arizona Cardinals in exchange for David Johnson, a 2nd-round pick, and a 2021 4th. Now, the rumor is that DeAndre Hopkins asked for a new contract to be in the works, and I'm hearing that he said, I'm one of the best wide receivers in the game, blah blah blah, which he is, and the Texans basically told him prove it again. And he basically said, "F you, trade me right now," which I totally agree with.
He's currently the 8th highest paid receiver in the NFL. Currently,
and he's a top 3. He's top 3.
Oh yeah.
Doesn't matter who.
I'll tell you who's the top 5 in that.
You got Julio Jones making 22 a year after his recent contract extension. You got Michael Thomas making 19.25. You got Tyreek Hill making. Yeah, they deserve. Those two deserve it. I'm not a huge Michael Thomas fan. That's most likely because I'm biased because I hate the Saints. But I'm not a huge Michael Thomas fan.
The guy,
he deserves it. He produces. He gets receptions.
He can catch the ball like one.
He doesn't
else.
make many plays with the ball in his hands, but he can make plays before it, and then he catches the ball. He's a reliable target. So you got Tyreek Hill making
2018 for
then you got
Hopkins.
Odell making 18. Then you got AJ Green making 18. Then you got Mike Evans making 16.5. Then you got Brandon Cooks tied with DeAndre Hopkins at 16.2.
Yeah.
So he's in the debate with Julio Jones for best receiver in the NFL, and he's making $6 million a year less.
Yeah, exactly.
He's making $6 million a year less.
Back in 2018,
I don't even understand this.
I mean, even back in 2018, all the targets Hopkins was targeted, he caught every single pass. He didn't drop one.
Not Hopkins.
No, it was Hopkins. It was Hopkins. No, it was Hopkins.
Michael Thomas.
No, I'll take you. It was
2018 Hopkins, 163 targets, 115 receptions.
It was Michael Thomas. There was one year where he didn't drop a ball. Oh, yeah, you might be right.
It was Michael Thomas. It was Michael Thomas 2018.
Well, either way, wasn't that the year that Deshaun Watson tore his ACL?
That was the year that Watson was looking like the
MVP. They had a backup, and they made the playoffs or something like that.
I think it was 2018. I think they were
when it was reported earlier that David Johnson was getting traded to the Cardinals. David Johnson was getting traded to the Texans. I thought that was a great move. That opens up their run game more. That opens up DeAndre Hopkins more. It opens everything up. Watson, if he wants to run, whatnot. But then I see Hopkins going back in the
deal.
Check
the message I sent you guys in the group chat.
What God's name is going on?
Yeah, that's there's no way that's accurate, Bennett.
Houston Texans receiver DeAndre Hopkins had an impressive 2018 campaign as he collected his second straight All-Pro selection and tied Andre Johnson's.
Drops is different than getting targeted and not catching.
Yeah, drops is different, yeah.
Drops is when it hits your hand and you drop it.
Yeah, but still, that's still pretty impressive to not drop a single pass.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I don't want to discredit him.
I'm just trying to say what I was, because right, where was it? Weird, because that's I think it was 2018 that Michael Thomas also had the same thing. I don't know. I guess I was probably wrong.
Let's move on to the next guy.
I mean, I just wanted to keep talking about David Johnson.
Oh yeah,
so,
I don't understand.
You trade him in the
running back.
Okay, so David Johnson this year he played 13 games, started 9, got 345 yards.
Exactly, dude. The guy.
When Hopkins had 1,100 yards.
I don't want to call David Johnson a bum because he's not.
He has
injuries.
It's been ever since he broke his wrist in Detroit. Before that he was a monster. Ever since then he's been on the downfall.
Mhm. Yeah, I agree. Because didn't he miss the entire year with that injury?
Yeah, there's a year here in the stats that has 1 game played, 1 game started.
Yeah. Well, then let's go to this guy real quick. Just because I respect this guy a lot. Ramon Foster retires from the NFL. A beast, and that Steelers O-line, the steel curtain. Well, I guess they're not.
No, that's no.
Yeah, the steel curtain is the D line from the 80s.
I don't care. That D line.
That O-line was
still
top 3 for years. That O-line was a top 3 O-line for years.
Yeah, I remember 2017 or 2018. Literally in the Pro Bowl, there were 5 or 4 Steelers O-linemen.
Yeah, it was 4 Steelers in the O-line, and one of them was
Steelers
a back.
Had
there was 4 starters, and one was a backup or something. It was crazy.
Exactly. And not to mention, this guy was an undrafted free agent. Insane. 145 games. He never earned a Pro Bowl selection.
I mean,
Ramon Foster never earned a Pro Bowl selection.
Yeah, I don't understand. Full-time starter for the Steelers since 2011.
Speaking of Steelers, they lost a big name player. Well, not big, but a big player today in Javon Hargrave.
Oh yeah, we'll get into him here. We'll get into him here in a little bit. Eric Armstead re-signed, 5 years, 85. I'm not surprised. He's 26 years old.
He's a beast.
I really thought he was going to be.
What did they trade for him?
2 years. 2 years in. No, they didn't trade him. He was
no, it was the other. DeForest Buckner. DeForest Buckner was in the trade.
Oh, DeForest Buckner's. Yeah. That's what I was thinking of.
I'm not surprised he got re-signed. The guy's a beast. I really wanted the Lions to go after him if he hit the open market. I'm not surprised he didn't though. But
10 sacks this year.
I don't even
his
think
fourth year in the NFL. Fourth year in the NFL, second year starting every single game. So like he's been in the NFL for never mind. 5th year in the NFL. But this is the second season he's actually started every game. The third one he's played every.
I don't know if he retires. Spends time with his 17 kids or how many he has. I think it's up to like 38 now. I think his wife just had like 18 kids like 2 days ago or something. I'm just kidding.
See, I don't even know what teams need quarterbacks. I don't know what teams need quarterbacks that would pick him. I heard some rumors of him to the Bucks, but Jameis doesn't fit anywhere. But Tampa.
But Tampa. I agree.
Honestly,
I think he goes back.
I can't think of where he'd go.
Interceptions this year.
Okay.
Chris Harris Jr.
served on a silver platter.
I don't think Jameis Winston fits in.
I think he goes to the Lions.
Can we? I thought we were still talking about Jameis.
No, we're done. Why are we talking about Jameis? We're talking
because
about
I like
Phillip.
talking about Jameis.
I'll take you. He is not.
He only fits the Bucs scheme. He's not gonna go anywhere else.
I think he's gonna have a huge year next year if he stays. Okay, so he said Chris Harris.
Chris Harris Jr. I think he's got to go to the Lions. I think the Lions.
Lions or Eagles. Lions or Eagles.
Dallas just lost Byron Jones.
That's true, but I still think. Well, not really. They don't really need one because they have Chidobe Awuzie and who's the other guy?
I don't know.
Who's the guy from Michigan? He's from Michigan. There's Chidobe Awuzie from Michigan. There's another guy there who's like pretty good.
I can search it up. Cowboys roster.
But yeah, I agree. I think the Lions should try to get Chris Harris Jr. because it only makes sense. You need a second corner. Did
the Broncos use their franchise tag yet?
Yeah, Justin Simmons.
That's right.
We talked about it.
Yep.
Michigan. Jordan Lewis. Jordan Lewis is the Michigan corner.
Lewis. Yep. There it is.
Okay, next one.
Like I was
saying,
I was saying with the Lions though, Rashawn Melvin was a bomb. Rashawn Melvin was a bomb last year. A bomb.
Yeah, the Lions need to get a corner one way or another.
He got a lot of pass interference penalties, and he was burnt.
What about your young player, Jake, who was giving my top receiver a pretty good run?
What's his name?
Justin Coleman?
Justin Coleman.
The other one.
No, it was Coleman.
The other one. The Penn State one.
Amani Oruwariye.
Yeah. He's good. Yeah. But with rumors of Slay leaving, you probably want another corner.
I don't want him to be number 1.
Well, I mean, he'd be number 2 with Slay at number 1, but if Slay leaves, then you definitely need to go after somebody else. Especially if you're drafting, what's-his-face? Okudah. Honestly, I think if you guys can keep Slay, and you have Okudah and Oruwariye, or whatever pronounce his name, keep those 2 young guys rotating, one playing slot, one playing normal, or just rotating between themselves, and you keep Slay, that's going to be a scary group of corners.
Yeah, I agree.
Next one.
Jadeveon Clowney.
Clowney. That one, I'm shocked hasn't gotten franchise tagged.
Jets.
I think he sticks with Seattle. I think they might be able to work out a deal.
I think he sticks with Seattle.
Jets.
Did you say?
If anybody remembers that one, that was from the draft a few years ago. Remember, or you guys know how like teams like bring in like random people to like call selections.
And the Jets are the worst.
Like, came in and like the Jets thing is like Jets, Jets. This guy was like Jets, Jets. He forgot the T. And they were like, yeah, but he wants 21 a year, I believe, is what I saw.
Really?
Which is a lot. And the only team that really has that much.
He's a linebacker / edge rusher.
So he wants to be the second highest paid at the end.
Who's the highest paid?
Behind Aaron Donald.
Behind Khalil Mack.
DeForest Buckner is. Oh,
I think those are fixed at like D tackle or D end. I'm looking at edge rushers.
Aaron Donald is considered a D tackle. My bad.
Yeah, I'm looking at edge rushers.
I'll tell you, I would say we skip 14 on the list and go straight to 19.
Yeah.
Like, if I'm being honest, Aaron Donald could play freaking free safety in the NFL. Or
Aaron Donald can play anywhere. Put him at O-line, D-line, receiver, tight end, quarterback, running back. Insert meme from HaHa Davis, whatever he is, where it's just him staring at a camera. Quarterback, running back, receiver, tight end, linebacker, O-line. That's literally Aaron Donald. I think you can do that with Aaron Donald.
Could walk up to Sean McVay, use one hand and be choking out Sean McVay and be like, "I want to play strong safety, motherfucker." And Sean McVay would be like, "Okay." Like, I would never say no to Aaron Donald, ever. If Aaron Donald tells me he wants my fries, he can have my fries.
Okay, that's a little far. That's a little far.
I'll give him my fries.
You wouldn't give Aaron Donald your fries?
No, I'd take my fries and run.
Then you think he wouldn't chase you? It's Aaron Donald.
Jake, if I'm on the other side of the table from Aaron Donald, that's nailed to the ground, because I know he will flip it.
Oh yeah, you gotta run away from a dude that's 300 pounds and runs a 4.68.
No. If it's an outside table and my car's right there, I'm getting in my car and bolting and driving away.
He'll outrun your car. Okay, it's Aaron Donald.
Okay,
He's
bud.
a freak of nature.
Okay, bud. Okay.
Dude,
my car, he will not catch.
He's a 290-pound D tackle that runs a 4.68. Do you know how insane that is?
My Charger is fast.
Okay. We're talking about you're not even gonna reach your car.
Okay,
next one. Teddy Bridgewater.
Hold on, we're flexing our cars real quick.
No,
so
bro,
that's a Lambo,
Jacob, you have a Jeep
no,
Patriot.
All right,
I don't have a
Teddy
Jeep
Bridgewater.
Patriot,
Teddy Bridgewater.
I don't know. I'm hearing Bears. I think he goes back. I think he goes back to the Saints.
Yeah.
No, they won't. They did the first round thingy or whatever with Taysom Hill, and they're gonna re-sign Drew Brees.
I don't know.
I think he goes. Isn't him and Nick Foles being linked at the Bears or something?
Chargers would make total sense for Teddy Bridgewater.
It would. That would be a good one.
I like it. Or the
Bridgewater
Colts.
for Chargers. That's a good call. He fits the Colts scheme.
Boys,
You're right.
The game I started for this recording, it's basically over. That's how long we've been doing this.
Almost done.
It just hit 2-minute warning.
Well, whatever. We can keep going.
Anybody else? You guys think? Oh, DJ Reader. I just saw three teams that are interested. 3 teams that are interested. Give me 1 second. Let me get the full details.
DJ Reader? Wait, what's DJ Reader again? D-line. Oh, there he is. D-lineman from the Texans.
Yeah, D-tackle.
25.
Lions, Broncos, and I want to say there's one more that are interested in him. But I don't know. I think the Lions need another D-tackle.
What's going on with Snacks Harrison and the Lions?
What do you mean?
Did something happen? You released him, right? So yeah, DJ Reader definitely makes sense there. DJ Reader makes sense there.
Either that or, well, you have to bring Uncle Ashawn back because then you'd have him as a backup.
For sure. Yeah.
All
right.
Yeah.
Next one.
Robbie
Melvin
Anderson.
Gordon. A big name. Melvin Gordon.
Who needs?
I'm seeing a lot of links to the Bucks, and I'm kind of happy about that. I like Melvin Gordon. Things are good.
I mean, I want the Lions to get him, but I also know that the Lions aren't going to get him. The Lions need to get a running back, if we're being honest. But I like the Bucks. I think that'll fit well with him.
I think it's.
There's not many teams.
We can have a scary running back combo.
Like
you two are
teams.
The Lions and the Bucks are basically like one of the only teams. Seattle, maybe. No, they have Chris Carson.
Yeah.
Seattle's good with Chris Carson and
what's his face?
Penny. Rashad Penny, yeah.
Xavier
Rhodes. Rhodes always open.
Yeah, the roads are always open, especially when Marvin Jones is playing him. Marvin Jones is his dad. Marvin Jones owns every property of
predictions for him.
Xavier Rhodes' head.
Where do you guys think Xavier Rhodes goes?
The bench, where he belongs.
Logan Ryan.
Cowboys.
Cowboys.
Yeah.
Something like that.
I think every corner is basically Cowboys or Lions.
Every corner that's available is like Cowboys, Lions.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's basically like a select. The teams that need corners should be going after every one of them.
These two are interesting. Eli Apple, he's 24.
Yeah, I saw a bunch of people who run like Lions fan pages were like, give Eli Apple like a 1 year, like $7 million fully guaranteed
he's
deal.
24.
Just, like, approve a deal. He's so young. He's so versatile. Like he can.
He played on the Giants, right?
And then he
The
went
Giants.
To
Then he got cut. Didn't he get cut because like yelled at somebody?
I forget. Yeah, something. No. That was Janoris Jenkins.
Ah, yeah, that's what it is.
Jack Rabbit.
Okay, next one. Blake Martinez. I did not realize he was
We
a free
already
agent.
talked about him. We already did.
We mentioned it, but we did not say where he was going.
Talk about him. No,
Because I didn't know he was a free agent when I said it.
I heard the Jets.
I think the Packers would be. Did the Packers use the franchise tag yet? I think they'd be stupid.
No,
to
we
not
did
sign
not.
him.
No, we have everyone on lock.
They'd be stupid to not.
They'd be
use it on
stupid to let him go.
him.
He's 26.
Exactly. He's so young and he's so good.
Stupid to let him walk.
Dominic Sue, I think he re-signs the Bucks. Bruce Arians said it's his main goal this offseason is to re-sign the front seven, like everybody.
I'm not worried about.
I'm not worried about it.
I mean,
like
just
not going anywhere.
Do you think, boys? Do you think the not the Browns, the Bears re-sign Clint Dix or what?
I don't know, guys. What has he really done for them? What did he have? Let me look at his stats from last year.
Why would they? Is he playing strong?
Yeah.
Because they got Eddie Jackson playing free.
I just don't like that fit. I just do not like him at strong safety. I feel like he's more of a free.
Yeah, he's more of a free. Unless they're playing too high consistently, because he doesn't fit.
I think they're like a Tampa look. They're a Tampa look.
He's listed as DB. He's not listed as anything. He's listed
as strong. He's listed as safety.
High. You're gonna get dotted underneath.
He had 2 picks this year, and one of them was a pick 6.
Like I said, I still think you're gonna get dotted underneath if you're playing too high.
Another
game.
safety.
I think they don't re-sign him because it just doesn't fit the scheme.
You're just gonna run routes that come across the field that are over the linebackers but underneath the safety. So in that middle ground where like it's gonna be really difficult to cover. I mean, your quarterback still has to make a really good throw, but either way.
How about Browns and Demarius Randall?
I haven't even heard any rumors. I feel like he's just gonna go back. I'm not worried.
Yeah, I feel like if you don't hear rumors about anybody, they just go back.
Kendall Fuller?
This can't be right. Uncle Ashawn is 24?
Yeah.
Oh my god, it looks like he's 30.
When he was like 20. Yeah. Well,
it looks like he's 30.
He
has a big ass beard.
You guys know that? You guys seen that meme where it's like
we'll talk about it later.
What the teacher says on the quiz? What's really on the quiz? And it's like Ashawn's beard on his head.
Football.
Okay,
that's Uncle Ashawn.
Kendall Fuller.
Gerald McCoy.
Gerald
But
McCoy?
I'm not going off of the lower. I'm just going on randomly. Gerald McCoy.
Bro, you're going way down, man.
Yeah, I'm picking like
you're going
for
players that's played for the Bucks, man.
No, I'm going for big name players and just randomly.
I honestly don't
know. Are you
know.
saying Kendall Fuller's not big name?
I think he's just gonna go back to the Panthers. Kendall Fuller.
I don't think the Panthers really need him.
The Chiefs. He's got to go back to the Chiefs.
He's 25.
The Chiefs don't re-sign him. The Chiefs need corners. Their defense isn't special. Like they won the Super Bowl, but they need to like keep that defense together and bring more guys in.
If they want to even have a chance to repeat.
Yeah, that's the whole reason they didn't go 2 years ago. Mahomes was balling out, but the Chiefs' defense was awful. This year they improved it and won it all.
Vic Beasley.
Yeah, Vic Beasley. I was gonna say Vic Beasley.
I don't know. That guy's been such a bum lately.
27. I don't know, man.
He's old too. Like
he's 27. He's not really that old.
I mean, older.
Yeah. He had 8 sacks that season. That's pretty good, actually.
Kind of old for a D lineman, if you're asking me.
I mean, it's his first first post rookie contract. Because he has 6 years.
Honestly, guys, after Vic Beasley, I don't really see any more big names to talk. Mr. No Drop.
Yeah.
Mr. No Hands.
Mr. I can't even catch it.
I honestly don't think there's anyone.
I'm gonna do another roll through Twitter to see if anything else.
He wouldn't be able to catch the deal that he was offered.
Oh my God! Speaking of Kendall Fuller, 4-year, $40 million deal to the Redskins.
Really? He's not going back to. Oh, they're probably gonna keep.
Just tweeted out.
They're probably gonna keep Rashawn Breeland.
Yeah, but still, they need more corners. That was their main issue. Ooh, Bills agreed a 3-year deal with Mario Addison. Just seeing what's going on.
Wait, Kendall Fuller's going back to the Redskins?
No. He was on the Chiefs.
And he's going to the Redskins.
Yeah, he's going back to the Redskins.
Did he play on the Redskins before the Chiefs?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
No,
Somebody
I
looked
don't
that up, but I'm
think
almost 100%
you're right
sure
there.
he did.
I got it.
Oh, also
there's
going
no
to
way.
Amari Cooper. Going to Amari
Oh
Cooper.
wow, he did. He got
50
drafted by
guaranteed.
Washington. He got drafted by Washington. Wow, that's right.
What an idiot. What an idiot.
And he's going back.
Wins the Super Bowl, doesn't goes back to team that drafted him.
That's weird. I mean,
that was definitely a money move. That was definitely a money move.
Yeah, he's getting paid $10 million a year. If that